Behind me is one of those products where as soon as you see it, you think, how did it take so long for this to be invented? And, why have we not done this before? And that is the pads on a roll product you see just over my shoulder there. We've had this for a while, a few months, and we've just been trying to figure out the best way to make this commercially viable. And it takes a buy-in from the customers and a bit of a shift in culture, to be honest. The product is American owned by a company called Egal, and they are championing free period products across the board, as are several other companies in that market already. This product, though, is essentially giving access to people who need period products in the privacy of a cubicle. And that's where pads on a roll comes in. It is exactly what it says on the tin. Sanitary pads on a roll, readily available in individual bags, which are perforated and torn off as and when you need them. I reckon 50% of this audience are probably not appreciative of some of the inconvenience, the undignifying situations in which people find themselves when they need to access period products, particularly in public places. For example, a vending machine is usually, or is always, in the common area within a washroom, not in the individual cubicles. And that's an inconvenience in itself. They're more often than not coin operated, and who's got coins these days? And also it's an expense which arguably they shouldn't have to cover. I'm looking at my screen here because the UK point of contact, Neve, has been conversing with me and giving me some examples about where the product is being used in the UK. Already in the States, by the way, it's in over 1,700 schools. And I know it's been in some airports and is having a really successful go of it in the States. And in the UK, we're looking to help pads on a roll replicate that. A couple of councils have already embraced it. There's some co-working space in corporate offices. Student unions have had a lot of interest in this product. We supply a couple of universities and several colleges at higher education level, and they are very proactive in supporting the idea of free period products. So they are definitely trailblazers, and I applaud any commercial businesses who are taking the same approach. There's a good example of how that can come full circle when it comes to a viable business model for a private company. This quote from an England fan at a recent game at the Allianz Stadium, aka Twickenham, the home of English rugby. And she says, it's a strange thing to get excited about, but as someone who has spent a huge amount of time visiting stadiums around the world, I was happy to see pads on a roll at Allianz Stadium. It's a small gesture, but great progress. I felt valued, understood, and it was very much appreciated. So the bigger picture there is that person is going to be comfortable, it's going to stay in that stadium longer, it's going to spend more money, it's going to have a much better customer experience. So there is a lot of takeaways from giving away period products free of charge, making it as readily accessible as toilet roll is, at least in the first world, of course. Some other points to raise are also related to period poverty. And I think once we are more aware of these products, we can then hopefully help reduce these statistics. 21% of women and people who menstruate in the UK are now struggling to afford period products, and that's up from 12% in just 1 year. This amounts to an estimated 2.8 million people, and that puts around 1 million more people into period poverty versus last year, so it's actually going backwards. Of those affected by period poverty, 41% kept sanitary pads or tampons in for longer, and 8% reused disposable pads, which, as we know, can be a dangerous method of period management. 37% said they had used tissues or cotton wool instead of sanitary products in the last 12 months. 13% used socks or other clothing, and 9% resorted to using paper or newspaper. I think everyone watching this video will agree that those statistics are extremely alarming and I'm sure everyone watching would want to help reduce those stats and ultimately try and make lives better for people who need these products. And Neve comes on to make a really good point around sport and education, and that is that young girls are so much less likely to take part in a sport, particularly if there is no access to period products. And that is because of fear of leakage. This seems just unbelievably unfair that people should miss out, particularly in formative teenage years where sport can play such an important part of personal development. And these girls are having to miss out because either they don't have access to the period products or they can't afford them. I would like to see these products available in schools in England, and having seen the education system to some degree in Uganda, where girls had to leave school, completely exclude themselves from any education simply because they had no access to period products or fresh water, and their life took a completely different direction to those who could stay in education. There's lots to digest here. I'd love your feedback. It'd be really interesting to get some dialogue and to share this video. I've got a relatively small audience, and to help shine a light on this product range, but more importantly, the idea of making period products completely available without discrimination and inconvenience, whilst maintaining dignity, would be a great thing for humanity. So any comments or direct messages would be greatly appreciated, and thanks for watching this video. I really appreciate seeing it through to the end, and we'll see you in the next one.